One Piece, episode 1124. We are still back, and it's back-to-back fun. I'm Tasha.
Hi, Mike.
And we are Billion Beri. And I just want to get straight to this, so let's
Agreed.
go.
Let's do this.
Egghead 脱出作戦。もしもーし
That's what I said last episode. Mosh mosh!
モンキー D ルフィドクターベガパンク
His brand.
は俺たちがもらった海岸の船を全部どけろ
Cosplaying as a true pirate right now.
He's so evil.
Vicious.
相手にエッグヘッドの中では今誰が生き残っている？
怪我してるやつもいてダメ
ガチャニコロビンか
Smart Robin.
会話は情報簡単に渡してはダメよ
そうかごめん
サタン星
Launched the
守
attack.
るものは3つだヨークの身柄その脳であるパンクレコードマザーフレームを生むパワープラントそれ以外は失っている
All
しかし中
else.
にはロブルッチたちサイファーポールの者たちが
Doesn't matter.
人間の命など虫だと思え
Yeah, that's the guy you follow.
Remember last episode when I compared them to Omni-Man?
There it is.
Oh, don't bring up O'Hara. You gonna get slapped.
Oh!
Even worse.
ロビンの前でよくもそんなこと言えたわね
おいおい丸腰だぞ
Robin's like, aww.
怪我大
Like, that felt good.
あなたのおかげでね
わしも礼を言わんとなお前さんたちが助けてくれたおかげで
Oh.
ロロノアを探しておる最中に
Yeah.
たまたま出くわしただけじゃ
結局俺に助けられたしね
うるさい
Well, they're holding true to their truce.
So far.
おいおめえらおとなしくしてるか食料ありがとう
Ah.
おじだ
Yeah, they were starving.
陰で生き返ったおいできたぞ
あとはここから出してくれあいつらが怖くて落ち着かねえ
大丈夫だよなベガパンク無論じゃ成分に海のエネルギーが配合してあり
Oh.
能力者を捉えておくにはこれ以上
Wow.
ない兵器だ
Oh.
そんなこと言ってもおめえには感謝してるぜ俺たちの石化を解いてくれてよ、
That's gonna take some getting used to.
スネークに
Yeah.
そんなプログラムはないんじゃが
俺の仲間なんだ頼むから解いてくれお前しか救えねえんだよ頼む
The simp is blood deep.
That's right.
It's in your blood.
クローン製造における血統禁止で伝達する
Like, how did this happen?
バブルガンを貸してくれたから本当にありがとなハンコックありがとな
Oh no. She's just a chibi woman, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Small, fully grown woman, yes. What'd you do?
せっかく俺が逃げられるようにしたのに
Yes, your genius masterwork
世界
plan.
政府は最初から私たちを見逃してくれる気なんてないでしょうしね。
重傷者4名ベガパンク2名死亡
なんじゃルッチ
独り言だ
He's assessing the situation for the right time to strike.
Yeah.
He's like, truce? Oh, I don't think so.
It's always about his mission and his grudges now.
Stussy.
Sushi?
全方位すっかり取り囲まれてるわステラ睨まないで
何を言ったか効 返しじゃな。
はい、そうよ。
船の航路は。
ここから北東へ。
ああ、エルバフじゃな。
Oh yeah.
海岸は全方位、海軍の船、メガホースワンで飛んで、海軍の包囲網を抜け
But
た
it'll
いとこ
probably
ろじ
only
ゃ
make it so far.
あのロボットはエッグヘッドの気候
Yep.
区域でのみ飛べる。
From there, it's like, woo!
Just like a rock.
That's fine. Just go as high as you can and then Kuda burst out of there.
そこまで行けたらサニー号のクードバーストでさらに飛ぶ 1km 飛べば誰も追ってこれねえだろ
I can hear him trying to be Franky, but he's just not quite
コーラで
there.
飛ぶ
コーラで
Cola! Watch Vegapunk go, oh!
Cola!
お
Uh,
前はベガホースワン
I love this connection.
食料足りてねえよな。
そう思う。一日で切れるぞ。
One day!
もっと乗せよう。
チーズでいいだろ。材料ありゃサンジがピザにしてくれる。
あいついいよな。料理うまくて強いなんて。
Oh, somewhere Sanji's heart just went
機
ba-bum.
嫌直って気味悪いな。
She found out the truth.
もうベガパンクは殺さね
よかったよ。夜泣いてたよなお前。
え。泣いてね
No.
ロブルッチから通信が
Transmission from Lucci. Why are they not watching him closer?
Yeah, now Luffy's like gone. Zoro's not there. Well, maybe Zoro's still there, but
フロンティアドームはレーザーの迎撃システムだろ
he might be able to get through it.
光だ入れそうか
正直いけますが、立ちふさがる男の覚悟潰しちゃ、こっちも格好つきません。戦闘丸の指令で無数のシービーストウェポンとパシフィスタ50体がこっちの軍艦を沈めにかかるってことです。
のんびりはできんなパワープラントの場所は
ロブルッチは優秀な男です。知りてえ情報はすべて送られてきました。
How did he find out where the power plant
Yeah.
was? Did they mention it?
I don't think they mentioned its location.
戦闘準備
Unless he like snuck a conversation with York or something.
Maybe. And now they know the
Saute.
plan. So they're all gonna be lined up out back waiting for him.
Yeah.
It's like, really, at this point, he doesn't need to attack. He could just wait for Luffy and the others to come out.
That's true. Go right for Sentomaru.
来たかおじき。パシフィスタ
行くよ、戦闘丸くん。
Oh boy.
ワイのガードは
He's had a couple days to heal the giant hole in his chest, I guess.
Oof.
Okay, so maybe it's not a self-destruct that we saw in the preview. It's just this fight.
Yep.
だから光
Axe!
強えのが
Ah!
How is that it already? Never know. Ooh, outro. Everything's Bonnie-centric right now.
Yeah.
Just don't know why yet. Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
What is that?
That was Kuma.
It was Kuma?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Kuma on his knees.
Ooh, pretty.
Wow. Huh?
She gonna save her daddy.
Yeah. Hoo boy. Things are getting good.
It's starting to. It's a little bit of a slow burn. Gotta get back into the anime pace. Because we're used to watching the movies right now where stuff happens faster.
Where things start and resolve in 2 hours.
Yeah. Now we're like, wait, nothing happened. Oh, hang on. It's an anime. So, yeah, gotta readjust to anime pace, but I do like what I'm seeing. I don't like that, like, how did Robin miss that Lucci has a communication option on him?
Yeah. It does seem weird how lax they're being with Lucci and Kaku.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't see them as a threat, and while that's true for Luffy and Zoro, it's not really true for everybody else.
Right? Everyone else should be on edge.
Yeah, so, I mean, Lucci could take out that whole room
in 3 seconds.
Before anybody even knows what's going on now.
Yeah. And now Luffy's gone, so it's like, I feel like, though, like, Robin is really good at, like, covert information collecting, and she understood immediately, shut Luffy up because information is a weapon, and yet she's not searching Lucci to figure out if he's got any kind of communication abilities.
Well, and, like, why didn't they recuff them after getting the situation under control?
Yeah, now things are over. Like, how do we know this truce is gonna last?
They're not suddenly friends.
Yeah. Get sick with us! This was very literally, they said, I agree that we have a common enemy right now. The Seraphim are now under control. That was the common enemy, so hello?
Yeah.
I know Luffy's probably just doesn't even care because he doesn't even consider them a threat, but Luffy's not wise and big picture type stuff.
No. Yeah, so that's going to cause them some problems. And it looks like I was correct from yesterday's video where the preview we saw of them floating in the sky was just a visualization of their plan, not actually it carrying out already.
Yeah. It's probably going to take 4 episodes to get to that.
Probably. It's going to be probably Sentomaru versus Borsalino. Sentomaru's going to lose, probably.
Yeah.
And Luffy's going to sense it and probably break plan to go down and take care of things, is my guess.
Or actually, probably what's going to happen is Borsalino's going to beat Sentomaru, which will allow him to get through the force field up into the lava phase, and then Luffy will go face him.
Yeah, something like that. Because
Borsalino's the only one that can get through the barrier. Luffy can't come down right now, even if he wants to.
Right, but if they crack the code...
Yeah, if they do.
It could time itself well.
But I have a feeling they're going to crack the code, like, 5 seconds before they need to leave.
Probably, yeah.
So...
Yeah.
And then there's also probably going to be another fight between Lucci and either Luffy or maybe Sanji Zoro. Like, someone strong is going to have to fight off Lucci as they're leaving, I'm sure. So there's probably a bit to come here before we actually get to exit Egghead.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Elbaf, though!
Yes, Elbaf is going to be fun.
Ever since Little Garden, we've been talking about Elbaf and little bits and pieces all through the anime, and then we finally get to go there.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I wonder, though... if the communication from Lucci actually came from Stussy to misdirect things.
That would be a fun twist. But I think Lucci has a wristband black snail.
Yeah, but I do wonder.
It would be pretty awesome if they gave away just the right information, but changed all the other information so that they thought they were getting, thought they were getting the info from Lucci, but really it was Stussy.
What I'm hoping happened is Stussy sent out a communication as Lucci saying, here's where the power plant is.
Yeah.
But in reality, the power plant's on the other side of the island, and they're going to destroy it before they leave. And they're
cool.
saying, no, seriously, it's over there. Go over there to destroy it so that we can do it unopposed.
I hope that's what's going on. I like a good bait and switch.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because the communication didn't go out until Stussy returned.
True. But the communication also went out after Luffy and Lilith and Franky, like, they all left.
Yeah.
So it's like, Luffy, the strongest, left, so maybe, but I don't know, yeah. It just doesn't make sense when we have other very attentive people in the room, like Robin.
Yeah.
And even Nami, like, might look over and be like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah, so I'm kind of 50-50 on that thought, but I think it would be cool if they did it that way, so...
I hope that's what's going on.
I'll hope for it. Franky's voice actor. It's a good voice.
It is.
But it doesn't feel like Franky. So it's
doesn't.
gonna take a while for that to like sink in and be acceptable.
He's doing really well with like the rolling of the R's and things like that, but his voice doesn't have like enough of the nasally tone. Like Franky, like ow, it comes out your nose more, whereas he's more like from the chest, deep voice. So it's not quite right, guys.
Life happens, things have to take a toll, and especially a long-running anime like this, you're going to lose some special voice actors, but I'm hoping that, give it another 5-10 episodes and it'll just kind of be normalized.
Start to feel like normal, but right now it's like we have decades now with the original Franky, so it's like any other voice was already up against the wall trying to sound right, but he's just a little too deep. It's hard to...
Yeah.
Like, it used to be you hear Franky off screen and you knew, oh, Franky's talking now. I heard a voice speaking before it showed Franky, and I had to see Franky to know it was Franky talking.
When it switched to the scene of Franky talking, I was like, oh, that's who that was. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, only when he has something where he can roll an R do I go, oh, that must be Franky. Not that must be. Like, because only he talks like that.
Yeah.
So, sort of the kind of like a delinquent speech pattern that you see in other anime. Like, we were just watching the new episode of Windbreaker and also Tokyo Revengers. Like, there's always the thug delinquent that has to roll his R's like crazy.
Yeah, always. Yeah. And the more I see of York, the more I'm like, how is York actually a Vegapunk? Because York sounds like a spoiled little entitled girl that has no intelligence to her whatsoever.
Yeah.
So obviously she had the intelligence enough to like betray everyone under their noses and take control of the situation temporarily, even though she lost it.
Yeah, she's smarter than she seems.
Yeah. But ultimately she just seems like a dumb little girl that cries when she doesn't get her way. Like, how...
But by the same token, you've got Lilith, who's just an unhinged maniac, basically, whose emotions are all over the place. She's either really sad, really happy, really angry, and violent. Like, she has no emotional regulation whatsoever.
Yeah, but you can see her analyze situations sometimes. She's also kind of dumb. Like, she didn't realize that Zoro and Robin were ready to kill her when they first met.
Yeah.
She thought she had the situation under control, and it was the exact opposite. But... So there's
knowing she's never been off the island and stuff, I wonder if that's a certain amount of like naivete.
Yeah.
Like she just doesn't realize certain things.
Just doesn't like perceive murderous intent.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But it seems like all the brainiac brains went to Edison and Pythagoras and maybe Shaka. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaka was more not necessarily like book smarts, but like
he was Leonardo.
He had wisdom.
Of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the charismatic leader that knew how to use everybody else's strengths.
Yeah. He was good at making good decisions, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But now he's gone. And then you've got Stella, and it's like, shouldn't Stella in his brainiac craziness have known, like, hey, maybe my satellites might get a little out of hand at some point. There should be some sort of backdoor option for me to control my satellites or get information from them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or coming from a person in tech.
Yeah.
Why were you not looking at the synchronization logs and realizing that York was not synchronizing?
Yeah. Like, there's so many gaps to this idea that it's not really feeling good.
Yeah, it's hard to have the concept of like a hive mind and then think that one of the people of the hive can act independently without anybody noticing.
Yeah. Not only that, but to think that you would split yourself into multiple clones and not think that maybe you need an option to override them.
Yeah. Because when you split off all your emotions, the whole of you is what makes you make your decisions. So if
Yeah.
you split them off into several emotions,
They may make
different decisions. Whereas a singular human being, you've got anger, you've got sadness, you've got violence, you've got fear, you've got good. And all of those war in your brain together to help drive what your decisions are.
And make the right decisions, good decisions, educated decisions. Like, all of his, half of his clones are impulse driven. They're not going to make any good decisions.
Yeah. I mean, York is what, greed?
Yeah.
Gotta be greed, right?
Yeah,
so
that's why she wants to be a celestial dragon.
I want to be a celestial
She's
dragon.
I
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then Lilith is incredibly impulse driven. So actually, I guess, and then Atlas is impulse driven. Yeah. Because Atlas is violence.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, like, why would you choose these negative traits to be their focus? I don't know. I guess because you don't have many options. But...
Perhaps he thought that they were impurities that drive wrong decisions, and so by extracting them, he himself would then be
maybe
more able to derive better innovations and such.
But he is still the whole of himself. So I'm like, how is he not wise enough to have seen something like that as a possibility and create some sort of redundancy to prevent it from happening?
Well, I think the problem with Vegapunk is that he's so brilliant and so focused on invention and innovation.
Yeah.
That all this is just small stuff to him. Like, he's one of those, like...
He doesn't sweat the details.
I will make scientific breakthroughs at any cost.
And whatever people do with it, that's on them.
I mean, just the fact that the mother flame exists at all is like...
Yeah,
just because you can make it doesn't mean you should make it.
Like, if you look at Edison, his sole job was just writing down all the ideas kept coming. Good, bad, whatever. He was just writing them down and then throwing them, and then Pythagoras would come and collate them and organize them. And
yeah.
So it's like, there's no thought whatsoever being given to if you should. Only if you can.
Yep. So we'll see where that leads.
I'm gonna guess nowhere good.
Nowhere good, yeah.
But I can understand the drive to want to create new things, because obviously you have the flip side of just because it could be used for something negative doesn't mean it automatically will be, or that people won't compensate for that and make sure that it's used for good, because there are lots of things that can be used either way and it ends up used primarily for a good purpose. So yeah. I do understand the drive to keep improving the world and creating new things, but I think a little caution is warranted.
A little bit. Feels a little bit like the AI innovations right now that are happening, where it's like AI can be used for a lot of good things. But if you don't have any thought to guardrails or moralities or whatever, it's going to be...
We're going to end up with Terminators.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes too. I'm also curious what happened. Like, it seems like the way that they're setting up Egghead Part 2 is that we're being dropped in the middle of a bunch of events that have now already happened while we were away with Garp and Law and Shanks and stuff. And then they're going to like backtrack and show you, well, what happened? Mm-hmm. Because Bonney went from murderous to... No, I'm good now. I'm not going to kill Vegapunk.
I'm not going to kill him.
And all we really saw... But she
still cried all night, so something happened.
Yeah, so we saw the memories, at least a taste, and then we haven't seen her since.
Yeah, we definitely need to be let in on that.
Something happened in that gap that made her completely change her mind.
Well, I'm certain she probably found out what it was that Stella promised not to tell her.
Yeah.
And then now that she understands it, she... probably admires him for sticking to his promise.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on the other end of it and you don't know, of course you're going to be angry that they're like, no, I promised I wouldn't tell. But then once you know, you're like, oh, I'm so glad you didn't tell. You really are a true friend to my dad, you know?
Yeah. What I find interesting though is they're getting ready to leave the island to Elbaf.
Yeah.
And her dad's memories are in that lab.
Or
And-
are they?
I mean, maybe they've got a way to transport it or
In
something.
the outro, you saw something condensed down into like a crystal tear. I wonder if that's like maybe something they were able to do to make it transportable.
Yeah, maybe
So-
they replicated his capability of doing Pawpaw and like condensed it down into that super tight thing that'll fit in like a case or something.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine she'd just be like, oh my god, I found all my dad's memories. Maybe one day we can restore his memories so that he'll be my dad again.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Navy's here, so we gotta run.
Yeah,
Like,
gotta go.
I'll just leave it here and assume it'll be safe. It's fine.
We also need to be let in on how Kuma Prime is actually doing. Is he killed yet?
And what was his purpose for going back?
And climbing the red line, yeah.
Climbing the red line.
I'm really hoping he had some kind of deeper purpose than just he's so programmed to be a slave he has to go back to the Celestial Dragons.
Yeah.
Like,
But
that would be devastatingly awful.
Yeah, but there's something weird at play there, because
He's up to something.
Kuma's doing what Kuma's doing, but then Saturn said, we have no more use for Bonney.
It could be...
And I'm like, what use was it that you were doing?
Yeah, thinking on it, the use for Bonney may have been originally to keep Kuma in line.
Yeah.
They threaten Bonney so that Kuma will never do anything against them. He will allow himself to be torn apart from the inside out, reconstructed, memories gone, dehumanized, and made a slave to save his daughter. I could see that. I mean, what parent wouldn't sacrifice pretty much everything for their child, right?
Yeah. Good point. Have a favorite moment?
I think when Robin was like, Luffy, no! It's like, oh, yes, Robin! She's saving the day!
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one. Mine was York even utters the word Ohara, and Mama Nami gets all pissed and goes, "Pah!
How dare you in the presence of Robin?
Keep Robin's homeland out your damn mouth!"
That's right. You don't mess with Robin in front of Nami. She won't have it.
No.
That's her sister.
That's right. So now it looks like all hell is about to break loose. Navy ships are going to be sunk.
Yeah.
The lower part of Egghead is just going to get completely destroyed by the upcoming fight.
Yeah. It's already pretty blown to pieces in one blast, I bet you. That had to have been a pretty huge blast that we saw.
Yeah. We're probably going to see all those vice admirals that we've never seen before, except for a handful of them, actually do something now.
Yeah, get to know them a little better.
Yeah, see what kind of power or whatever they bring to the table.
I really don't like that seven-chin, nasty-looking guy. Like,
he reminds me of the little child's toy where it's like rainbow-colored rings and you have to stack them up from widest to smallest on the little pole.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he reminds me of every time I see him. But like the Cenobite version of that.
Yeah, because he's all fleshy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of a weird looking guy. He did not get the genetics lottery winnings on that one.
Yeah, whatever tribe or whatever he's from, like, ooh, sorry, bro.
He's from the Flabneck tribe. Multi-Flabneck.
The 12-chin tribe.
That's right, yeah. All right. Well, they're setting us up good. I think I have a feeling the next probably month worth of episodes are going to be pretty intense.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be every week we watch and suddenly to be continued. No! Like, already? I have a feeling.
Yeah.
It's just going to feel like blip every week. So,
one thing I'd like to hear a comment from, and answer this as non-spoilery as possible, but those of you who have read ahead and know where Egghead ends in the manga, approximately how many episodes do you feel are left in this arc?
Good question.
Just so I have some kind of an idea. Are we looking at another Dressrosa or Wano, or are we looking at more like a Zoe?
Yeah. Like, do we have a whole nother year before we exit Egghead?
Yeah, before we're on to the next island, Elbaf, apparently.
Or is it going to be like 15, 20 episodes and we're out?
Yeah. And keep in mind, they did say that they want to start up-pacing the anime a bit.
Yeah, that's why I was a little surprised at the pacing of like, oh, like almost nothing is happening. Okay. I thought it was going to go faster now.
Yeah. And yet there is a lot of progression.
Yeah, it's just the story is very deep and you have a lot of different things you have to touch on.
Yeah, there's a lot of dense exposition that's happening right now.
Yeah.
But it's going at a fairly rapid pace. There's just not a lot of like action. There's not a lot of movement. It's all staying in. There's the ship room with Saturn. There's the lab with all the crew. And then there's down with Sentomaru. And those are like the 3 sets right now.
At least for this area.
So it feels like nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
But things are happening. So yeah, I guess we'll leave it there and look forward to what's coming next.
Make sure you hit the like button and smash the subscribe button so that you get to stay with us every week and see all of our reactions.
That's right. And if you'd like to support the channel, we have a new little graphic here. It shows you a couple different ways you could do it. We have TCG supplies through affiliate links. We've got a TCGPlayer if you collect the cards. We have a link for that. We've got a merch shop, various designs on there. We have a Discord server now, so come join us and hang out. And we'll talk about One Piece.
Yeah, we're having a good time in there.
That's right. For now, I'm Mike.
Tasha.
And we are Billion Beri, and if you want to see more reactions, you can check them out right here. And if you want to see our AMV called Hero with an asterisk, you can check it out over there. See you next time.
Bye, guys.